Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talks with T. So my guest today is a 400 metre sprinter and he's ranked top 10 in the UK this year. It's none other than Jamal Rhoden-Stevens, so stay tuned to catch the interview. See you in a moment. Hi guys, so welcome back. So here I have Jamal with me, Jamal Rhoden-Stevens. So Jamal's a 400 metre sprinter, but you didn't always do 400 though, did you?
No.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Jamal's journey, get to know Jamal a bit, and maybe discover some things we didn't know. Who knows? So Jamal, when did you actually start track and field? How did you get into it?
Started track and field officially just beginning of 2013, so about January-ish. Started taking it more seriously. Before then, I was playing semi-professional semi-pro football.
Yeah.
Like a lot of black people do, young people. We like to play football, so I played for some decent clubs, but my dad always told me when I was young, I'm never going to play football or do athletics, because he used to run as well. And he told me not to rush so I could take my time. So it was actually about to turn 19 when I started taking track and field seriously. At 18 I was still playing football. I was still signed for a club. I actually didn't complete the season. I just quit halfway through to start track.
Why did
so
you
I was
quit?
actually signed in 2012. If people see 2012, it was Olympic year. I was actually signed to a football club, so I was still in a football club, but I just one day just decided, I was doing a bit of training, then I decided, you know what, let me just take this seriously. So in 2012 season, which is summer, going to winter, in 2013 I just said, you know what, just start.
So what, did the Olympics inspire you to start taking it more seriously? Is that what happened?
I've always watched track when I was young age because my dad is a big follower of track. So
What did your dad do?
He did 100 meters.
Okay.
So
Up to what level, like club?
Nah, he was at club level. Like
Okay.
he started track and field later than me, like around the 20s. But he didn't know like all the stuff. He was at like a basic level, but he ran some okay times for what he put in. So
So you're 24 now, right?
yeah,
And how old were you when you started?
19.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is quite late, I guess, in track and field
Yeah.
years. So you saw 2012 in
Yeah.
London.
Yeah.
How for you did you go and watch any of it?
I actually didn't. I was supposed to, but I actually didn't. But I've seen like other track events, like,
Yeah.
and I've watched the first Olympics. I remember watching was Athens, so I remember Athens. And then obviously I watched Beijing and watched London, but I actually didn't go to see any in London. I think my dad had tickets, but I just didn't go.
Yeah.
But I watched it on TV.
How did you feel? Like, was it inspiring? How was that having a home Olympics? Everyone was in the Olympic mood, whether they like sport or not really.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
To be fair, I didn't think I really took it in 100% because didn't realise how big it was at the time, kind of thing. Because Olympics, but like I wasn't in track and I knew about track and field and everything, but I didn't understand everything about it. So now I would understand it more, having a home Olympics. But at that time I didn't understand it, but I just knew it was big for London. I knew it was big and a lot of people made noise about it, but I think now it's gone, I realise how big it was rather than at the moment. I didn't fully understand it, but now I get it.
Yeah. So the winter of 2012, you say you started taking it more seriously.
Yeah.
So what did you go down to your local track?
Yeah, I just went down. So been with my coach in Crystal Palace, because my dad knew of him and used to run as well, with him or against him. He just took me down to Palace, and then I used to do some training sessions, but like I said, I was still playing for a football club, so I would also play football in the matches, and so I was doing a bit of winter, but I was still playing football. And then this year, 2013, just decided, you know what, let's just stop the football.
So how did your season go? Was it how your season went that made you make that decision, or what was it that made you make that decision?
Oh, it's the football thing.
Yeah,
I
so
wasn't
like
competing at the time. I
I
wasn't competing at the time. I think I did my first indoors actually in the end of December
Okay.
or 2012, or actually January 2013. But like I said, I was still doing football, so
Yeah.
I think after that, I didn't even know what times meant, to be honest. Like, I know about elite, but I didn't know about grassroots, like in terms of is this good for this age group stuff. When I first started, I didn't know anything about English schools. I didn't know anything about Bedford National. I didn't know what Bedford was.
Yeah.
So when someone said to me, I think in the summer season, I think I was running like, I managed to run sub 11, I think for the first time, and then I think someone asked me, you go in Bedford National. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything about English schools or anything like that. Obviously, I know of English schools because a few of our friends, when we was younger, they used to combine football and athletics, and one of them, his name's Jonathan. I think he ran for Hercules Wimbledon. He made English schools, but I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that he was on TV and he was doing well. But I kind of thought that, okay, because you're English schools, you're just gonna make it. I didn't know the transition or anything like that. So
that's interesting. So you said that you ran the 100 meters 2013. So is that what you started off as? 100?
No, I actually started doing triple jump, long jump.
Really?
Yeah. So in school, I was good at jumping. I was good all round, to be honest. Like I was good at cross country. I was good at sprinting. I was good at jumping. But I love jumping. Jumping is my first love.
Yeah.
Like I love jumping. But I didn't know anything about training, so I just signed up to an open meet and said, you know what, I'm just gonna triple jump. I think I actually did it. I'm recorded. It's not on power 10, but I've actually jumped 13 meters.
Yeah.
But without any training.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing that, and then I did a long jump. I think I got in the summer season. I just entered Surrey Championships because I'm part of the Surrey Borough. That's where I live in South London. So I went. I got a silver medal at under 20. I thought because when I was 19, I was the last year of under 20. So yeah, I managed to get a silver medal. But like I said, I wasn't training, so I just bought some spikes and just.
So you literally missed all the age groups. And like last year under 20, I mean, you started.
Last year under 20, I started.
So funny, didn't really know anything about.
I didn't even know what under 20 meant though. So I didn't say that. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about the technical things about. I only knew about elite sport. And at the time when I first came to train there, I thought people just turn up and race and who's the fastest wins. I never knew anything about winter training, any background work. When people say background, I didn't know what that meant. I just saw it on TV and I thought, okay, cool. These people are just the fastest in the world. They
didn't know how they actually got there.
I don't know anything about any.
So 2013 was your first season. And so then I guess you had this first season. I guess your knowledge of the sport started to increase in terms of that development stage, because there's no semi-pro in track and field. Like that's how it is. There's either you're grafting, trying to make the professional level. Like that's just literally how it is. And you go through the age groups, and once that's done, it's like you're just grafting to try and make it. So how was going into the winter and 2014? How was that different for you?
I think I was still understanding the sport, but sometimes when you see numbers in a sport, you just think you could just make those numbers. So I think 2013, I think, like I said, let's continue from when I was jumping. So basically, my coach saw me to stop jumping after Surrey's. Said, you know, he just said, you know what, you're just gonna be a sprinter. So I said, okay, cool. So I kind of stopped jumping after that because it didn't really work because I wasn't doing any jumping in training. So
but then you just
I was just running. But so he just told me to just stop doing that. I used to do it for my club still. Like when my club did.
What club are you?
I was Herne Hill at the time, Herne Hill Harriers at the time. So when I first started, because my dad used to run for there, so it was easy. I think, what was it now? Was it YDL? I think YDL. A couple of YDLs I was jumping.
For people that don't know, what's YDL?
It's like a youth development league. So it's like full of under 20s that come. They're in certain leagues and certain clubs around the UK or in certain leagues. I didn't know what, like I said, YDL. I didn't know about YDL Division 1. I just said, okay, cool. Here I'm just gonna compete against whoever's there. So I think Cambridge was there at the time, Cambridge Harriers. That's all I knew. And then obviously started meeting some of the other guys from the clubs. And I was still doing like long. I was still doing it for the points, so whatever it is. So I'll still do long jump. And at that time, I actually did a bit of 400 meters. I think that's the first time I'd done something, but I never trained for it. So I did 400 meters that year. I think my first ever race, I ran 50.3. Actually, my first ever race was actually 400 meters with my coach, because he used to force everyone in the group, because I was one of the youngest. He used to force everyone in the group to do 400 just to open up.
Open the season.
But obviously I didn't understand that. I was like, just do 400. Then I ran 50.3 for lane 1, But at that point, I didn't know what that meant. I said, is that good?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know what that meant in terms of anything.
So when your coach told you to stop jumping, what was the focus then? So you said you're going to do 100 metres?
Yeah, we'll just
so
do
for that
1 and 2.
For 2014, so was you still a 100 metre sprinter in 2014? Was that still?
Yeah. I was still doing I was doing 1s and 2s. I mean, I was never a 400 metre guy in 2014. I was doing 1s and 2s, but I think 2014, like I said, from 2013 to 2014, I thought, yep, okay, because I saw juniors and I started to know about Power 10. So my times wasn't too bad. I was at the top 30 UK. So I thought, okay, cool. These guys are running this time.
The Power of 10 is the ranking system in the UK.
Oh yeah, it's the ranking system. Sorry, Power 10 is like the ranking system of the UK athletes. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm running this time. I can chop off this much temps, and I can be up there. But I never knew about the transition from junior to senior. Actually, it wasn't a big transition for me. But what I realized is that in juniors, like during July and August, when I started to know more stuff, I started to know who the juniors were. Whereas seniors, a next guy can just come from up north and just beat you, and you're thinking, who's that? Because I didn't know about Power 10 like that. So yeah, the transition. So I thought, yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna run this time for the 100. I don't know what time was in my head at the time. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna run this time, and I like 200. 200 is still my favorite event, like, ever. But I was like, yeah, 100, 200. Just gonna do this.
What was your time in the 2 at that point?
2013 season, it was 21.93, and it took me a while to get to 21 seconds because I kept running 22.5, 22.5, 22.5. I was like, I'm going to be stuck at 22.5 forever, but I didn't understand how to run the event. But then, yeah, I was actually here, it's in Lee Valley. I ran 21.93, and it was at 10 o'clock at night. I remember that because it was so late.
So basically, you were, I guess, just that raw talent, pretty much. And so, over the last 4 years, how much has, I guess, like you said, learning how to run, so technically, like, not just technically, but tactically, how to run the 2, how to run the 4, how much is that, how has that benefited your performance, and how important is that?
Yeah, I think you learn, you kind of, I feel like it's like you kind of learn as you go along, you pick up new information. For 2014, I got injured, I experienced my first injury.
How was that?
Because I started lifting. Oh yeah, another thing is I wasn't going to the gym in 2013, so all the times I was running, I was just going to the track 3 times a week. I wasn't doing no program. I was doing my coaching program, but I didn't know anything about like diet and stuff like that. Wasn't great. Like gym, never used to go to gym ever. 2013, the whole of this. Even when I was jumping, never knew nothing about gym, plyometrics. I knew nothing about that.
So you started doing that stuff in 2014?
Yeah, I started going to the gym. Then I got my first kind of injury. And then, it was, then I was a hamstring injury, I think, and then I got back into it, and I think I opened up the season.
How did that change your mentality? Because, you know, when you're a raw talent, like you say, because you don't know anything, there's no pressure, you have there's nothing in your mind to think about.
Yeah, so you just run fast.
So you just run.
You just run.
So how, when you got, I guess you started to understand the sport, you got an injury, how did that change your mentality?
Yeah, I think it was bad because I started to think about times and stuff like that. But when I was 2013, I was still like oblivious. I was still kind of naive, so I didn't know about time. I wasn't thinking about, I'm gonna run this, I'm gonna run that. I was just running. But when you get into the sport, you think, okay, whoa, I'm top 30 here. Why don't I just improve? And then, when the injury came in, it was tough. And then I think I got hurt again. I think I got hurt, was it once or twice that year? Can't remember. But I opened up my season for 300. It was pretty good. Like it was a good time. And then I thought, okay, 100 meters I'm gonna run this, 200 meters I'm gonna run this, and I think expectations started to come in, and I think that's what changed with my mentality, because I started to think about the sport more, which is good and bad. It's good because you're more conscious of what you're doing, but it's bad because you've now put expectation on yourself. So I think that was, I think mentally, I think that's when I start to think about tactically and technically, start to think about other things. You know, rather than 2013, I'm just running anyhow, really. And then 2014, I'm thinking about, okay, if I set up my 30 meters, if I do this, if I do that,
so
then equals this.
Kind of overthinking in that.
Yeah, a bit overthinking. I think because I wanted to run certain times. Like, I saw times, I thought, okay, I can run this. And I started to think too much.
When did 400 meters become, I guess, your main event?
Okay. It's interesting. I think after the injury in 2014. I think at the end of 2014 I got introduced to Marvin Rowe, which is he works at Speedworks, and then he was my strength and conditioning coach, and then that's when I started to get some direction about gym. And when I first got with him, I was terrible. I think I just didn't know any movements. Like, my coordination was off. Like, I wasn't lifting any numbers. Like, it was just started from the bottom really. But yeah, I think from then I started to get a base, and then I started to understand my body more. And I think I started in 2015. I had a similar issue with my hamstring actually. But before that, actually, my coach suggested to do some 400 meter, a little bit of 400 meter background, but it wasn't much at 2015. It was just like basic level, just going a little bit further than my 200 meter sessions. So it wasn't much. And I think I managed to run like a 48.8 on my second race. Then I was still working with Marvin and stuff like that. And then yeah, so I thought, okay, cool. So now I moved straight back down to the 1 and 2. I was like, yep, 1 and 2s, let's do it.
Is that in the same season?
Yeah, same season. So even then, in 2015, it wasn't still my main event, but I was like, I started to get a little bit more thinking, all right, this is easy, because 400 meters, the good thing about it is that it's easy to me. And I think that's why it's my main event, because I was just naturally tired.
It's easy to him, can you imagine?
And no, like, it was easy at the time, because when I ran the time, I didn't feel like, say people feel lactic, I didn't, when I ran 48, I didn't feel mad tired. I thought, okay, this is calm. I can chop some time off, because it wasn't a great race. It was just, I did what I had to do to win that race, and then I still tried to force the 1 and 2. I was still forcing it, I think. So I really think 2016 was when I took it seriously.
Okay.
Yeah, I say 2016.
Okay. 2016 is when I guess 400 became your main event.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, let's even talk about this year. So you have progressed quite a lot in the 400 from where you first started. Your PB's now 46, 54. Yeah. And you ran that this season as well.
Yeah.
So you are in really good shape at this moment. And let's talk about your experience as a senior, because you have actually made the GB team, which is amazing for someone who didn't even know anything about the sport in, even like 2014, 2015. So talk about your experience making the World Indoor Championships this year.
Okay.
What was that like?
Yeah, that was an experience which was surprising but expected at the same time, because I'm one of those type of athletes. I think from 2015 onwards, I made a goal. So 2016, I made certain goals for myself, certain times. I actually wrote these stuff down and what I wanted to achieve. So I made goals of, okay, I want to do this championship and I want to achieve this time. So from 2016, 2017, going into 2018, I always made those goals. Some of them I reached, some of them didn't reach. And I had a long meeting with my track coach, Bernard Palace. I went to his house for 6 hours and said, you know what, I'm going to make this World Indoor team. This is what I'm going to do. I don't think he wanted me to do indoors, but I said, you know what, I never tried indoor 400 properly. So yeah, that season, so this season just gone, started to do indoors, and then I think I had 2 or 3 races before the trials. And at the trials, because many of the 400 meter outdoor guys weren't there, I thought, okay, this is an opportunity. And then I just kind of went with it in the trials, and then I made the final. And then I remember making a final, and I thought, okay, cool, this is a chance, because I'm in a good lane. I think I was in lane 5. I was like, okay, this is a chance that I can actually medal here, and if I medal, hopefully I can be on the team, because I knew that it was a home game, so that they will select individuals and relay. And so I managed to come top 3. I came third in the race, but the guy that was second wasn't British, so I was a silver medalist. And then we had one more race in Muller Grand Prix. That was a great experience, running against like the top Americans. And then I got my first call, because I never heard these guys before ever. And they called me and said, we're delighted to offer you a place for the Great Britain team. And
how did you feel?
I was happy now. The first I was happy, I was buzzing. I think I was buzzing that day. I was happy because it's something that, like I said, something that I wrote down and said it's possible to achieve this. So to actually do it was great. And the whole experience of actually being there was great as well, because you see some world-class athletes and you're actually competing with them. You're not actually seeing them on TV anymore. And just warming up, seeing everyone, different countries, and how everyone warms up, how everyone's training. It was just different to be on that level, because coming from me, I haven't really been at that level for a long time. you know. So coming from club level per se, you know, British League and stuff like that, to international level, yeah, you see, it opens your eyes and you see things a lot differently.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What was the most surprising thing that you found from anything that surprised you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's normal. That's what surprised me, because like, you see guys that are running certain times, you just think, people will say, oh wow, like, this is amazing, but I just saw everyone as normal, not because of their performance, just because of they're just down to earth. Everyone's calm. Everyone's not like, it's not like everyone thinks they're a superstar. Everyone thinks, you know what I mean? Everyone's just calm, and what they're doing, you can actually do. That was my biggest surprise, because when you see certain times, you're just thinking, well, how am I ever going to get there? But it's not actually the times I look at, it's the approach and everything. I just realised that everyone's just calm, everyone's just normal. So
that's amazing. What are some of your goals moving forward? So this year, even though you're ranked top 10, unfortunately didn't make the Europeans this year. But just talk a bit about that. How does it feel when you know that you could possibly be a candidate and then you don't necessarily get that call up?
It's kind of a weird feeling, because never really gone to a championship thinking, except for World Indoors, well, start off in the season, like I never gone into a year thinking, okay, I've actually got a realistic chance of making a team. Europeans, I thought I had a good chance. I didn't really perform well at trials, to be honest. I didn't hit the gun and it kind of threw me off, but I didn't execute my race at the end of the day, so I didn't make the final. It's kind of weird, because you kind of feel disappointed, but at the same time, like I said, my season is still going, and it's still going to go to September anyway. That was my original plan, and I still feel like I can run a lot faster than what my PB is now. So so it's alright. I mean, my main focus is World Championships and Olympics, because I wasn't, as much as Europeans is there, I didn't even write it down. That's the craziest thing. So it kind of, it's like, well, I'm here now, I can actually make the team, rather than I didn't really say, oh, I'm gonna just put my all into this kind of thing. So it's alright, but Worlds and Olympics is two teams I definitely want to make. So I'll be more upset if I was a world team. I'll probably just cry.
What is it that keeps you motivated? And you know, like you said, you wrote down goals. How do you decide, I guess, what goals to go for as well? So what are the things that motivate you, and what is it that helps you to make goals? How do you think about that?
I'm a bit crazy, so the goals that I put, you won't see many people in UK put this type of goals in. The times that I put down, I haven't reached them yet. The times that I put down, I've written them down like last season, so, and I still haven't reached it this season. So when you're I guess you haven't reached them yet, how do you continue going forward and not get disappointed and not get discouraged? Because I always set my goal high, so it's one of those ones where I set it so high that if I fall below it, it's still good. So if I say I want to run a certain time, I might not hit the certain time, but I've hit a time that's good for me. Or
do you still see it as good? Because you know, sometimes that's a difficulty, is that if you set a high goal and you don't reach it, you can't see what you've done as good.
Of course.
So do you still see it, what you've done as good?
I think I self-evaluate it after the season, but I'm very optimistic. I want to be a world-class athlete. I feel like I've got the ingredients to be a world-class athlete. It's just I'm still in the development stage, and I think it's only a matter of time before I start running world-class times, in my opinion. I have high confidence in myself because, firstly because of God, and I know that what God can do through me, and also because of, I believe that I haven't really gave it my all yet in track and field. There's still some things that I can do to improve. So I see improvements basically. It's not like, this is my limit. I don't see myself at my limit yet. So I think that's how I stay motivated, because I know myself that there's certain things that I can still achieve, that I can still do more, I can improve. As much as I go into every year thinking I can improve, then that's what keeps me motivated. But if I feel like, okay, this is it now, I haven't got anything left, I think that's when the motivation will go.
So as long as you know there's more.
As long as you know there's more, then there's something to look up to. But if you think, okay, well, this is it, then you can't really stay motivated.
So you spoke a little. Well, you mentioned God there. So when did you become a Christian, and how important is your faith, and how does that influence, I guess, your sport?
Yeah, I think faith for me now is everything. Faith in God is everything to me. I was brought up in a Christian home, but I really took God seriously. When I say seriously, people understand what I mean. But
no, some people might not. So what do you mean?
like, seriously, because
tell people that don't, because some people think you're born in a Christian home, so aren't you a Christian? Doesn't it work like that? So
yeah, but
so how does it work? Are you just?
I would say that taking God seriously is basically, how do I say this to the audience? Like basically just submitting to God. So basically it's like you're sacrificing things for God, and you're understanding what God has done for you, and then you're able to, for me it starts with fellowship. So going to church regularly, reading your Bible, stuff like that, because being a Christian is more than saying you're a Christian for me personally, and what I've experienced and what I've seen, because anyone can say that anything, but it's what you see from them is what you determine that person is from. So someone that can say I love people and then kills 10,000 people, you're going to look at them differently because they've killed 10,000 people, not necessarily what they've said.
The actions don't back up.
The actions don't back up what they're saying. So for me, I think it's 2016 that I gave my life to Christ seriously. Started to read my Bible, started to fellowship, my actions started to change. Some of the things that I used to say, I don't say anymore. Some of the places I used to go, I don't go anymore. And I think that's made me strong, because I know that I'm not just doing this for myself as well. I'm doing it for God and for others as well. It's not just about me. It's about of helping other people as well in certain situations. So yeah, that's all I can really say. I can say more, but
yeah, that's good. Thank you so much, Jamal. I hope you guys have enjoyed this interview, because I have, and I hope you've got to know Jamal as well. So to finish, I've got a hot 10 that I'm going to ask you.
Hot 10.
Okay,
Let's go.
let's go.
Hot 10.
So sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Yeah?
Sweet, yeah.
Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Too hot.
Yeah, all day. What's the last thing that you ate? We're all waiting for this answer. What did you eat, Jamal? What
actually,
did you eat
fruit.
today?
Some fruit today. It's good.
See Jamal, yeah? Let's not even go there.
It's actually some fruit.
Twitter or Instagram?
Insta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're stranded alone on an island and you're only allowed 2 items. What would they be?
Stranded on an island.
Yeah.
What items? There's food. Does
2
food count?
items only.
Does food count?
Yeah, but items.
Items. I don't know, like my Bible and a towel. I don't know.
A towel.
No idea.
Jokes. Okay, do you sleep with your socks on or off?
Off, man. Socks have to be off, especially in summer, man. You can't do that. That's a crime.
If you could live anywhere else in the world, where would it be?
Monaco.
Monaco?
Yeah.
Really, where?
Because Monaco is beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've never been yet. What's your favourite smell?
Lavender.
Yeah? If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
This is difficult. I think to see into people's minds.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
What's your reason for that one?
Because I just want to see what's going on.
Yeah?
I'm very an inquisitive person, so I ask a lot of questions. I'm very I study science, so I'm very much I want to know kind of person.
Fair enough. Okay, so last question. I want to know if you're person A, B or C.
Okay.
So person A can't roll their tongue. Person B can, like the normal way, like this. And person C can do this one.
Oh my god, I think I don't think I'm definitely not doing
Which
that.
one are you?
I think I'm B.
Okay, show us.
What?
Show us, come on. Yeah, okay, you're person B, well done. Yay! Okay, thank you so much, Jamal. Thanks for coming on the show. Where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at jmarcusd and Instagram jmarcusd. I think that's it really. I think that's our main platforms. I've got Snapchat, but I don't use it, so it's no point. There's no point having me on there because I don't use
Fair
it.
enough. Fair enough. This has been a really good interview, guys, so thank you so much for watching. And I just want to remind you guys, let the past motivate you, but use the present to create history. See ya. See you next time. Bye.